Susie Meyers, PGA Director of Instruction at Ventana Canyon Golf and Racquet Club, is the recipient of the Southwest PGA Teacher of the Year Award for her outstanding performance as a golf teacher, innovator, and coach. Susie was a two-time All-American at the University of Arizona and spent 3 years playing on the LPGA Tour. Her 45-plus years of educating, teaching, coaching derives from her experiences playing golf at every level. Susie has served the members of Ventana Canyon for over 25 years, helping golfers from beginners to professionals, and has a great knowledge of how the mental game affects the player's performance. Her way of coaching allows golfers to enjoy the game more and improve their skills in a manner that doesn't overwhelm them with unnecessary details. In every session with her students, Susie's approach comes from the point A golf method, which she created. And Susie has recently, in addition to all her time in teaching and coaching the players throughout southern Arizona and the southwest section, has dedicated her time recently to stepping on and helping out with the Southern Chapter Board as well. So Susie, thank you for that. Ladies and gentlemen, the Southwest PGA Teacher of the Year, Ms. Susie Meyers.
You were an outstanding amateur. You two-time All-American at the U of A, played the LPGA Tour. But what has been the biggest adjustment for you between playing full-time and teaching full-time?
Well, I was a player a long time ago, and I remember when I got off the LPGA Tour, I didn't quite know what I wanted to do, and a gentleman, a professional, Pete Donnelly, he was at a club where I had played a Pro-Am when I was on the LPGA Tour, and he got in touch with me and said, do you want to come back and teach for a summer? And I said, well, it's hot in Arizona, so I'll go back to New York. And he gave me the opportunity to go back there. And as a player, you don't really want to be a teacher. You want to be a player. So I thought, well, I'll go on to golf management or something. And I remember I gave my very first lesson, and I found out what I wanted to do from that moment on. It was just, I don't know what happened, but I realized that I could actually help someone else. Because as a player, it's kind of a selfish game. It's all about you. It's about your practice. It's about your schedule. And all of a sudden, I could help someone else. And that was very exciting for me.
Very, very cool. So how has playing at such a high level helped you as an instructor?
Well, big time, I think. We have so many different kinds of instructors out there today. We have people like great professionals like Sandy LeBeau, who creates programs, Marvel Bernard. We have technical coaches. We have people like Mike Malaska. And I realized that being a player, I understood what those people are feeling and what they're thinking when they go out inside the ropes. And I was very fortunate to have a young man walk into my life, Michael Thompson, when he was 14 years old. And I remember the first time I walked through the ropes on the PGA Tour with him, and I knew what he felt like, and I had been there, and it wasn't like, oh my gosh, I'm out there on the PGA Tour. Right. It was like, this is hard work. It's a whole different ball game. And so being able to relate as a player, I think, has been a huge advantage in my life. I've been very fortunate to coach players at some very high levels. I have 3 of my students here today that I would love to have stand. Brittany Benvenuto, who's worked her way to the LPGA Tour, she just flew in today and surprised me. And Maya Benita, who's going to play on the University of Arizona National Championship team next year. She just won a major tournament at Longbow last weekend in a playoff. And then my son, who I've been very fortunate to coach for 18 years as he played on the Stanford National Championship team. So
very impressive. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Very impressive. So mentors are important in all our lives, but in talking with instructors or teachers, it seems that everybody has a core group that has impacted them significantly. Who has helped you develop your teaching methods and philosophies and helped you become a better instructor?
Well, I'll talk about that in just a moment, but first of all, I'd like to thank the award committee that has put in so much time and effort in looking at all of the applications that all of the nominees had to submit, and I'll tell you, that's quite a process. I would not have been able to do that without Danny Medina's help, and I would not be sitting here without the two gentlemen that nominated me, which is Jason Barrett, who works at Las Colinas Golf Club. He has been traveling down to Tucson and working with me. And then I was giving a talk to the PGA Hope about a philosophy that I've created called Point A. And Mark Croft was listening to that, and he found some value in that, and he also nominated me. So that was, I would not be here unless I had people like that helping me. But really, it all starts at home. Without my husband, who has always been my biggest fan, my encourager, and he's allowed me to do what I do, which is I'm passionate about what I do. I spend every waking minute thinking, how can I help people get better? And I have two great children, Christopher and my daughter Carly, who's the light of our family. She's a preschool teacher, but she has been my greatest teacher. And I have my father, who every day when I went out to play would say, go and have fun. And I didn't like that way back then because I was serious about golf. This is not fun.
Right.
But now I think back and go, wow, he had it right.
Yeah.
And he told me that every time I went out to play. And my mom, who's an inspiration to me, she can't be here, but her attitude has always inspired me. It's always been positive. It's always been go forward. And I followed my brother out to the golf course. And so it starts at home with a foundation like that. And I've told Christopher that it's a strong foundation that allows you to go and do what you want to do. And in the PGA, the mentors that I've had, I've worked with some really great professionals, but it wasn't until I went to Tucson, Arizona, and met he looked like a farmer, big hands, big work hat, and he really mentored me. He changed my life. A gentleman named Jack Conrad. He was a lifetime member. Mm-hmm. He passed away a few years ago. I helped him write his book, which then inspired me to write my book. Right. And Jack really changed my life. Kind of strange question, but he asked me early on, he said, do you love yourself? And he says, you will not play great golf until you learn to love yourself. And that was huge. And PGA Hall of Fame, Michael Hebron has been my biggest mentor, I think, in that he's been talking about and learning about how people learn. And golf is more about mindsets and emotions than where your backswing is. And that's every day I go out and provide a learning environment for my students, and that's from Michael.
That's awesome. That's great. So you've been recognized on the chapter level. You've been recognized with national publications. You're a top 100 teacher with Golf Magazine, and now you're an author. Tell us about your newest venture of Golf from Point A.
Golf from Point A is about a way to play golf. It's really just about being in the moment. It's about not carrying your burdens with you when you three-putt the last hole. Forget it, move on. It's about not worrying about your future. I need to birdie the last 3 holes to win something. It's really about doing what you can with what you have right where you are. And every shot's really a brand new beginning. It's an opportunity to do your very best. It doesn't matter if you've had 4 birdies in a row or 4 doubles in a row. It's a brand new beginning. And that philosophy has affected a lot of people's lives. I have a young lady, Bailey Bish, who has a lot of physical disabilities, and we talk about being at Point A, that she can't control where she is right now. She has to accept it, and she has to do the best of with what she has right now. And she's a Point A student of mine. My husband says that I've helped him with point A, because when bad things happen, we all have adversity in our lives. And if we can start over and decide who we're going to be in that moment, what kind of attitude we're going to present at that moment forward, it makes everything possible from then on.
That's wonderful, Susie. Well, the passion you have is obvious, and I want to congratulate you on your Teacher of the Year honor. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jay.